This is Super Yacht News with E. Sisman.
Hi, welcome back to the channel. So there has been another unfortunate grounding in Hawaii. The vessel, which appears to be a former military boat, was left unattended in the Maui Bay in Maui. I hope I pronounced that right. During massive storms on Tuesday last week, the vessel was washed ashore and is beached as seen in the photographs here. Now, the vessel is believed to be 25 meter or 84 foot in length and has the name Chaparral painted on the hull with the number 7 painted on the bow. Now, we have a man on the ground in Maui, Guy Lawrence, who is a subscriber of the channel, and he spoke to the Coast Guard personnel on the scene when he visited the vessel a couple of days ago. And he says that they claim that it is a surplus military ship that has been turned into a pleasure craft. As you can see from the photos here supplied by Guy Lawrence, there is a telescopic shelter on the aft deck that presently encloses a hot tub, and it has a metal hull and a recovery hanger ramp on the back for a rib. Now, a hazmat handling company has been seen pumping out all the fluids. I think we know where this is going. The operator of that company told us via Mr. Lawrence that the hull had multiple holes in it. It's completely beached and certainly would further damage the reef as the Nero did in Honolulu Bay last year. The owner of the boat, who lives on another island, had to fly over to Maui to deal with his vessel. It is, according to the local news, the second vessel owned by the same person that has run aground in this fashion in the last few months. Now, we believe this other photograph here is the other vessel that he owns. Now, while we were researching this vessel to try to find out what kind of vessel, former military vessel it may have been, we found this photograph of a torpedo retriever from the 1980s. The ramp on the stern there appears to be where the torpedoes would have been placed and loaded and retrieved from the water. What's interesting is the vessel has the number 7 painted on the hull currently, and this vessel was listed with the following text next to it: an aerial starboard quarter view of the torpedo retriever number 7, TR7, during an exercise near San Diego, dated the 29th of the 6th, 1983. Now, this vessel has the number 7 still painted on the hull, and I believe that is the original font. The colour and font that's used in a military vessel is that colour, right? So now I know we have former US military personnel watching, so if you can confirm that this is that type of vessel, I believe it is the same vessel, but it would be interesting to hear from anybody who knows any more about this type of vessel. Now, the fact that they're busy removing fluids from the vessel seems to suggest that the same fate as the Nero awaits this former military vessel, which is sad for a former military vessel to end its life in this way. The Nero, if you remember, was drained of all the fluids and anything that had any environmental impact. And then it was towed out to sea by ship as fast as possible, and then they went out as far as they could until the vessel actually sank. And it looks like the fact that this has got holes in it, that vessel was worth over $1 million, by the way, and they still let it sink. So this one, I think its fate is sealed here. Anyway, we'll bring you more information once we have it. Now, we'll move on to the next story, and this is some good news for former and current crew of the abandoned superyacht Alfa Nero in Antigua. They've had a win in court with regards to unpaid salaries going back to 2022. So in 2022, when Andrei Guryev was added to the sanctions list, the management company of the yacht, Alfa Nero, which was linked to him, had to stop dealing with that yacht. So they terminated all employment contracts as the vessel was placed on the block list. Now, this meant that crew would get no further wages, nor any wages not paid couldn't be paid until a license was obtained by the then management company Burgess, who were acting on behalf of the owner. Now, the registered owner is, or was, the Flying Dutchman Overseas Limited Company. In 2023, Nautilus International, which is a trade union representing seafarers in the UK and other countries, including the Netherlands, I believe, were contacted by the crew of Alfa Nero after they didn't receive wages owed. This was for the period after Burgess Yachts parted ways with Flying Dutchman Limited. So from 2022 until April 2023, when the vessel was seized by the Antiguan government. Now, the Nautilus Union had the yacht arrested in Antigua in an attempt to get the yacht's management to pay the back pay for the crew. Now, the case against the owner was brought before the High Court of Antigua and Barbuda by Nautilus and Captain Christopher Malcolm Lewis on behalf of the crew in September 2023. This was including the original crew and the crew who stayed on board as part of the skeleton crew or new crew who were hired after the yacht was basically abandoned in Antigua. The dates for the crew's unpaid salary, like I said, was between March 2022 and April 2023, which was on the 11th of April. It was seized by the Antiguan government and now they claim ownership. The combined payment totaled around 2.7 million euros. Other claims for travel expenses, gratuities, crew training and attorney fees have been rejected by the court. The union spoke about their win, saying this judgment is a massive win for us and the Alfa Nero crew, and it was the result of months of hard work. It is an outcome we were immensely proud of and one we aim to replicate for those in need in the future, says Nautilus Director of Legal Services, Charles Boyle. They're not going to get this money until the vessel is sold, right? Because now the government of Antigua owns this vessel. And that's what would normally happen with the arrested yacht. Because no payment has been forthcoming, they would have sold that yacht to recoup the money for the crew. But now the government of Antigua is trying to sell it. And like this, they tried to sell it last year, didn't they? And then that fell through after Andrei Guyev's daughter has put a claim on the vessel saying she's the rightful owner. So it's going to be probably still quite a while until the crew get that money, but it has been secured now. So when that vessel is sold, they will get their money. So that's a great result. When a story comes up, and we've done some videos in the past on the channel, there was some, the Young Turks, this is going back 2 or 3, maybe even 4 years now. They did some stories and we debunked those stories as well. Remember to check out our new podcast channel at Yacht Report Podcast on YouTube. If you type that into YouTube, you'll find the channel. You can also find it on all the Spotify and Apple Podcasts, as well as Audible, etc. If there's a platform that you prefer and it's not there, let us know. We will add it. Here we talk about all things super yachts in a more informal, relaxed atmosphere with anecdotal stories from past adventures in the industry. Now, if you want to see episode 3, which is the latest one, we just posted it last night on our Patreon channel. Are there security systems on any of the yachts that have missile defense / laser systems to prevent attacks on the yachts? It will be there until Thursday. It will come out on the podcast channel and on all of the other Spotify, etc. Will come out on Thursday this week. But if you can't wait till Thursday and you want to see it right away, you can catch it on the Patreon channel right now. So remember to check the Patreon channel out. You'll find that at patreon.com/esysman. Now, if you've got any information for us about any of these stories or any other stories, please be sure to get in touch. You can get us in the email address in the ticker. You can get us on the About page of YouTube channel. You can get us on Instagram, on Facebook Messenger, on Twitter, and on Threema. Be sure to like this video, very important for the algorithm. Hit the subscribe button and hit the bell for future notifications. All right, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch up with you soon. Bye-bye.